My brother Jack was 34 years old, had gotten married 90 days before, got up one morning, went to brush his teeth, and collapsed. His wife, who was a nurse, administered traditional CPR with mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and was unable to save his life. I really believe with this new compression-only CPR, his chances would have been doubled because it increases the blood flow to the brain and continues it until help arrives. 1 minute of your time to learn a life-saving procedure compared to the guilt for not being able to save somebody you love, it's a no-brainer, really. If you know chest compression only CPR, you literally have somebody's life in your hands and can change the outcome and give them back their life.
So it was a Tuesday morning, and I was at my regular regiment of swimming. I've been a swimmer my entire life and was at the pool that day.
I was at swim practice, and I was leaving the practice early. I was on my way to work. I was on shift that day, so I got out about 15 minutes early.
Wasn't feeling good, and by the time I got to the shower, I face planted on the tile floor and I was out.
Another one of the swimmers came in and said, "Diane, there's somebody down in the men's bathroom." So I went into the bathroom and saw Brian on the floor.
She knew exactly what to do, started continuous chest compressions.
I asked for somebody to get the AED that was right there on the pool deck on the wall.
Hit me a couple times with that, and off to Sarver Heart Center a block away, best care in town.
Everything worked, very smoothly and very quickly.
It obviously at 40 years old, you never think that that you have a serious heart problem going on.
If I didn't know, or if there wasn't anybody there that knew continuous chest compressions, there's no doubt Brian would have died.
It's a Saturday. I'm playing USTA tennis at the Tucson Racquet Club, playing men's doubles. It's the illusion of exercise. And at some point in the third set, I dropped to the ground.
At first they thought he was joking because Rob has kind of a dark sense of humor, and it wasn't until they went up and they noticed that he was not breathing and that actually he was kind of bubbling that they knew something was dreadfully wrong.
I get a phone call from my mom. "You need to wake up, you need to get your sisters, your father's had a heart attack." And I sit there, I'm like, what? Dad's had a heart attack? I mean, my father he's in great shape. He's a little guy, eats well. He shouldn't be having a heart attack.
Two of the people who he was playing tennis with knew compression-only CPR. And so they immediately started CPR, and they sent one of the other players to go over the loudspeaker to ask if there was a doctor anywhere.
A cardiologist who is finishing up his workout hears that and comes running out. The racket club has an AED. The cardiologist had not only done training on CPR and had some advanced techniques for CPR, but also had a lot of training with the AED.
We felt really blessed and really lucky that there were people there who knew what to do, and just incredibly grateful.
The ambulance came and they quickly got him to UMC.
The chief of cardiology and the chief of surgery happened to be there on a Saturday. Incredible luck. They looked at me, they threw me in an ice cube and evaluated me. From there until Monday is the treatment until they do a quadruple bypass.
Of all of the circumstances, for him to collapse and immediately have people who were trained in CPR to begin that, to have an AED right there, to get to the hospital, he had the best prognosis that you could have.
I would tell everybody I meet that they should learn chest compression CPR because literally somebody's life is in your hands. I know because my father's life was in somebody's hands.
There's nothing you can say to thank a person for giving you back your father.
Ralphie was a very healthy kid. He was at football practice one night. They were running laps around the field and he just stopped and collapsed.
Oh, I don't really remember much. It's just what people told me would happen. Like, I was running behind someone, I was telling them that I wasn't feeling well, I don't think I can finish, and then they were telling me to stop, and I just kept going, and then out of nowhere they said I fell.
There's a coach, he's a volunteer coach, and he's an EMT. He runs the ambulance station in Ajo, and he was there at practice, and he somehow, for some reason, he didn't want to go see his daughter play volleyball that night. He said, you know, I'm going to just stick around. And that night that he stuck around, that's what happened, and he was right there doing chest compressions on him and saved his life.
Steve was a very healthy, fit, 42-year-old man. If you put Steve in a lineup with a bunch of guys his age, you'd never think this would happen to him. And he was out jogging one morning and he collapsed. And unfortunately, we learned too much about sudden cardiac death, and we learned that it happens to 1,000 people a day. And it's a staggering number, and we just felt we had to do something. We had to educate people. We had to raise awareness about this disease that takes 350,000 lives every year. Be a Lifesaver came about because it was proven that watching a 2-minute video, 2 to 3 minute video on chest compression only CPR would make someone as likely to be able to use that in the event that they saw someone collapse as if they sat through an entire training session. Life is precarious, and what happened to Steve could happen to anyone. And we just want people to be prepared that, you know, someday, somewhere, someone's life could very well be in your hands. And we hope that with these PSAs we've created through Be a Lifesaver, people are prepared and know what to do and can save a life.